Welcome to a new episode of Bison Insider. I'm your host, Mr. John McLemore. Today, I'm joined by another one of our very special young professionals. Please help me welcome Mr. Jaden Davis. How are you doing, Jaden?
Good. How are you? Hello.
I'm doing fantastic. Let's start with some really easy questions for you. Where are you from?
I'm from Dunseith, North Dakota.
Dunseith, North Dakota. I know exactly where that is. Out of all the places that people say that they're from, I actually know where that one's from. I've been there a few times. Good little town. Although I think I would like to go and visit the, the old tuberculosis asylum or insane asylum, just to see if it really is haunted. What is your trade that you're taking?
Oh, I'm in culinary. I completed right before winter break.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're in culinary. So are you, if you're done with culinary, are you still hanging around for like academic stuff or?
Yeah, I was gonna go in advanced training, but I decided to stay back because I don't think I could go to city and yeah.
Well, I mean, you still got a little bit of time to think about it. You know, it might be a good thing to still think and ponder. I would encourage anybody to take advanced training if they could. I mean, if Job Corps is willing to pay for you to get out there and get back and all that kind of good jazz, why not? But, you know, family does take some time too and some pressing matters. You know, that kind of happens. So what is your short-term goal then if you're not going to go to advanced training?
My goal is to get an apartment in Minot. Plan on settling down there for a few years.
Okay. Well, an apartment takes money, which money takes a job. So you got one of those yet?
No, I'm planning on working at Texas Longhorn when I get back to center.
Gotcha. That's a good place to be. It's kind of a fine dining, kind of casual, but it's got some good steaks.
Oh yeah.
How about some little bit more exciting questions? These are kind of designed for thought provoking. You never know if they're going to be a good answer, right answer, an indifferent answer. Who knows? Just whatever pops out is kind of the answer, usually. So, what is your favorite sport to watch?
I'd have to say football. My mom is a diehard Viking fan. So
We won't hold that against her. I don't know if they'll ever get to the Super Bowl, but you know, whatever. Maybe,
yeah.
maybe one day. What is your favorite food to cook?
Oh geez, I love making steak. I always season it with salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and I could just eat that in many forms.
Well, I mean, you know, if you're wanting to work at a steak joint, you know, making steaks is probably a good idea. Um, how about a favorite pizza brand? Not necessarily the topping or anything like that, but the pizza brand. Like if you were to call right now and order from somewhere, where would you, if you could? I know that Dunseith doesn't
Oh,
have a whole lot of options, but
there's this place in Botno. It's called Denny's Pizza Inn. They make the best pizza I've ever tasted.
I will
By far.
100%. I will 100% agree with you. I've been there on several occasions, and they are great. I agree with you there. So, how about a favorite thing to do while you're in Dunseith?
I usually drive around and remember stuff before, like all the pandemic, even though I'm supposed to be inside.
Well, you know, sometimes you just gotta get out of the house. I get it. I go
Yeah,
fishing.
get
I
some
go
fresh
fishing
air.
personally. So, um, who would you rather spend the day with, Bobby Flay or Gordon Ramsay?
I'd have to say Gordon Ramsay
Why is that?
because he could probably teach me quite a few tricks,
You,
and he'd probably yell at me and it'd make me laugh.
I was about to ask if you could withstand the being yelled at constantly. So, um,
Oh yeah.
so What would you say is one thing that you would consider to be one of your strengths?
Hmm. I try to keep positive. I always tell people to be positive, even when, well, they're sad or something. I'll tell them that everything's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Having a positive outlook on life is a lot is a lot easier than having a negative outlook, and especially in the weird phase that we're in right now, being positive definitely helps. So, um, I got a brain teaser for you, kind of culinary related a little bit. People buy me, or people buy me to eat, but never eat me. What am I?
Hmm. Flour?
Close. It's a plate.
Oh, plate? Oof.
Plate. It kind of makes sense now, right? That you buy a
Yeah.
plate to eat with. It's just missing a few words in there. But what is one thing that you miss the most about the center?
Oh, I miss seeing everyone. Like being around people is probably one of the best things.
That's
Seeing
a
all my friends, all the people I know.
it's a pretty common thread with a lot of, well, I would say 90% of the people I've talked to. So we miss you guys too. Just so you're aware, we are not just like having a party because you guys are gone. We want to get back to work too. So um, having you guys around is or not having you guys around is kind of a bummer for us. So um, just to we got a couple more questions, or I got a couple more questions, a couple more minutes for you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm sure you're busy working, trying to find a good paying job and all that kind of good jazz. So, um, out of these items, which do you think is the most important? So, out of apple, orange, banana, grape, or kiwi, which of those do you think is the most important?
I'd say an apple, because when you bite on an apple, it also brushes your teeth, kind of, and then you can just plant the seeds, get more apples.
That is a very very good idea. And I was going to say too, an apple a day keeps the doctor away or the dentist away, something like that. So yeah, I mean that makes sense. I can do without a banana. It's squishy. Ugh. Um, all right, so we've come to the end of the question and answer phase and getting to know you and just kind of picking your brain. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to share a little feedback, a little positive encouragement to your fellow students who are struggling right now or who may be struggling with the distance learning.
Hmm. Let's see here. The pandemic's almost over, boys and girls. We could go back and do get done with a trade. Hopefully, make everything better. Interact with more people. Start having fun again.
Well, I like that. It's you're not a man of many words, but when you do speak, it's definitely resonates with the positivity. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I know this was a very short notice. Normally I schedule these things out like 24-hour notice, but there was like 5 minutes between us talking. So again, I appreciate the fact that you came in and are willing to do this interview. So um, with that being said, that does mean that we are out of time for our question and answer phase. And just as a reminder to those who are watching, especially you, sir, because we were talking before and you told me you've only seen one episode. We're on like 31 or something like that. Make sure you head over to our Facebook page, the Burdick Job Corps Community. Hit that like button so you can stay up to date with all the rest of the episodes coming out, any of the news that we have coming out about when the center might be opening or what's going on or anything that's happening. A lot of times we'll post it there so that you guys can see it. And that way you don't miss any future updates or future episodes either. So make sure you check it out. It's the Burdick Job Corps Community. Um, And before we do go, and before we get to our final thought for the day, Jaden, I will give you an opportunity to nominate or throw the gauntlet down to who you think should be the next person I interview.
I'd like to nominate Tarren Belgarde.
Mr. Tarren Belgarde, if you're watching this video or if you get a text message or a chat box or something like that, make sure you actually answer it because I did text you. That's okay. Now Mr. Jaden Davis is going to help me out and get a hold of you too, but you've been called out, sir. So, all right. Well, traditionally speaking, before we go, I always end this in a certain way, Jaden. Your one final thought for today is this. Why did the pig go into the kitchen?
Why?
Because he felt like bacon.
I like that one.
That's the response I'm looking for when I say these jokes. The knock you off your feet because it's just so hilarious. Most of the time I get this, oh my God, that's so terrible. All right. Well, as a reminder to everybody who's watching out there, we just want to remind you, stay safe and we'll see you soon.